Hey guys, Sam here from Landscapeplus. Today we are going to be taking a look at series wiring, some of the reasons I think it's a really good system, how you can do it, some of the pros and cons, hopefully give you guys a really good understanding. Now before we get going and physically wire some stuff up, a couple of really good selling points or plus points for the system. The first of which, the system I'm going to wire today, I'm going to be mixing and matching brands. So this is a Collingwood light, this is a Luxar. You could also include a Hunza Pure LED within this one, providing the light fittings are working on the same power supply, so be that 350, 700 or 1050, you can mix and match those brands without any problems. The next part for me would be the light source itself. So we'll get a close up on this because it's absolutely tiny, but that is an LED chip out of a Luxar Micro series in comparison to an LED lamp that you would put in a typically parallel wired. So the actual physical size there is very different, and therefore the size of your light fitting itself can also be very different. A lot of people really like the discrete nature of these tiny little fittings. Last thing we are going to be looking at is cable distances. So within a series wired system, you can get far in excess of 50 meters, whereas on a parallel system, we advise around 10 meters being the maximum. So those are the main sort of plus points for me. Now we're going to dive in and show you how to wire. So first and foremost, we are going to be looking at the power supply coming into a whistle box and then how you would series loop within that. It's an absolutely fine way to wire a system. So we're going to be running this today on a 700 milliamp driver. So we're going to take that one in through one of the glands on the junction box. I'm then going to series loop the selection of Luxar and Collingwood lights here, and we'll show you guys what it looks like. As you can see here, wiring a junction box can be fiddly, time consuming, and it's really easy to get a cable into the wrong connector and your series circuit is broken. And then in one moment, we're going to show you how easy it is with one of our EasyTees. I'm quickly going to change a couple of the cables around and show you what can happen when you get it slightly wrong. So what I've just done is removed one of the lever connectors and swapped the positive and the negative around. So there's still power to the circuit. You can see 4 of the lights are still on. However, this one is not. Now, what commonly happens, and phone calls that we get far too regularly, is that someone would phone us at this point and say, you've sent me a faulty light. However, how we then rectify it is normally a lengthy FaceTime call, taking it out wire by wire and painstakingly piecing the jigsaw back together. With our EasyTees, it is so much easier. I'm now going to show you how you wire those. So within an EasyTee, you've got your input and clearly stated not 240 volt. You've then got a number of light fittings going to LEDs, and you've got an output. Now the one thing to remember on these is the output, because it's a series loop, has to be connected to something. So you either need to connect those 2 cores together and waterproof it, or you need to pop a light fitting onto the output. The reason it's got output is you could have this one positioned here, come off of there with a length cable and onto another EasyTee, so that you can do series around the garden. As I said earlier, you can get massive cable distances on the milliamp system. Now for the eagle-eyed viewer out there, you will have noticed that we've swapped over from side-by-side lever connectors to straight through Wago connectors. The reason we've done that is because within a junction box, your waterproofing is done within the box itself, so size isn't a problem. Whereas with the straight through ones, it means that you can use our adhesive lined heat shrink, and the shrink ratio on there is big enough that you can pop those in, heat shrink that down, and it's nice and neat, nice and straightforward. So what we have done here is set up all of our inlet and outlets with lever connectors. They are nice and straightforward, so just push the lever down as we did with the last ones. We're then going to grab our power supply onto the inlet and our light fittings onto the outlet and show you how nice and straightforward it is. I would hazard a guess that putting the lever connectors together onto an EasyTee would take about 1/10 of the time as it did for me to prep the glands, the junction box, and do the lever connectors with series looping. My OCD likes the fact that it's nice and straightforward, light fitting onto an outlet. You connect your positive to your positive, negative to negative. Obviously, you would then need to heat shrink these, but as always, we advise to do your connections, test everything is working, then heat shrink it up. As I say, could go onto another EasyTee, extend it as far as you want. We recommend 50 meters. In reality, if you went with a bigger gauge cable, you could go further than that. As always, any questions, please do give our team a call.